from the hundreds, where a frog got it fucking jump. And I'm from the hundreds, where K-Dog was a fucking dog. But I'm from the hundreds, where a pops got it fucking pop. And I'm from the hundreds, where a fool was a fucking fool. With from the hundreds, Rosemore, Roseland, West Pullman. Man, I'm from the hundreds, so you know how we do it.
I appreciate everybody tapping in with Flacco Santana TV. You know how I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? Fire content, original content, only on Flacco Santana TV. I got that fire coming. In fact, I'm showing y'all right now. I'm working on something there on the Oughta Be Well projects. You know what I'm saying? And this article I came across, you know, about a brother named Thunder. You know, a well-known brother in the Oughta Bees. You know, and I'm gonna do something, you know, on the Oughta Bees, and he gonna be included in it. But just to give y'all a snippet, you know, Thunder, he was a well-known brother in the Wells. You know what I'm saying? You know, the government was saying he was making like 60,000 a week. You know, had whips, all type of cars, everything. Say, you know, he was a drug lord. You know, he got a real interesting story. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. You know what I'm saying? A couple people got arrested with him. His OG, his mama got arrested with him. You know what I'm saying? Say McCarroll uses his mother to help count the cash proceeds from the sale of heroin and to transport the heroin. You know what I'm saying? You see it right there. Then it say Samir obtains the heroin from the supplier for the organization. You know, it just keep going and going. You know, just seeing, you know, about, you know, how things was going, how things was playing out. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna get into all that, you know, with the brother Thunder. That's, you know, like I say, Oughta Be Wells. We're gonna get into that. I mean, you know, I'm doing a documentary on the foes, on the folk on the hustlers, real talk. I'm showing y'all some of their history right now. We're gonna dig real deep into it, you know. But like the first, you know, sentence it say, founder of the AVLN, Almighty Vice Lord Nation, founder of Al Hadari tribe, you know, known to the nation as the old man Amina Hanifa Hadari. He was Walt's uncle and Malik dad. So these the like the founders. This the brother that started it. So then you go to Walter Wheat. He was the supreme chief. You know, founder. You know, of the foes. Freddie Gage. 1951 through July 25th, 1994. Freddie Gage, the third known as King Fred or Al Malik Kadari, June 4th, 1955 through October 31st, my fault, in 1984. Then you got Richard Goodman, a left hand, Al Mustafa Hadari. Then, you know, you go to Monroe Banks. He one of the founders of the Maniac Foes. You know, he a known brother. You know, he known as Money Banks. Real talk. So you go down. You got Fred Rogers and Icy Duck, two founders of the McAtill Foes. Then you go down. You got Cox and Big Mason. Right. I mean, it's gonna be a very detailed, you know what I'm saying, documentary. Real talk. Straight up. But then you go to the next joint. And shout out to my men who sent this to me. You feel me? One of the foes. But you know, they got Bump J up here. You know what I'm saying? I know he was doing this thing Real talk. Over there on 71st. Straight up, but they call him King Ray Elohim Bay. Terrence Boynton, better known as Bump J. You feel me? Straight up. Say he started the BON foes. And then after that, you got Ray Longstreet, better known as Ray Ray. Al Shahad Hadari. You know what I'm saying? That's his righteous name. But it's like he was appointed by Walter Wheat, to be the chairman of all foes. He started the Ray foes, who were a group of foes that honored Vice Lord, or it really say honored Vice Lordism as a true way of living. He was sent to prison in '06 in Operation Day Trader, which was a federal drug indictment that sent over 30 Ray foes to the feds. Right? So that let you know right there, like he got it from Walter Wheat, you know what I'm saying? And then when you go down, this brother right here, what the hell, that's Shaky Shine. Real talk. So let's go into his history real quick. Like I say, I'm finna do a documentary on these brothers and just the foes and a detailed documentary. Real talk. But it's a Sean Betts, better known as Shaky, or the Prince. He was original McAtill foe. Now I just showed y'all the McAtill foes, right? But in '94, him and other elites established a body of enforcers called the Body Snatcher Foes. Now I know you done heard of the Body Snatcher Foes. We just went through the Body Snatcher Foes, the Ray Foes, the McAtill Foes. Real talk. I mean, we finna get to the low foes. But the purpose was to establish order that was at that time not present when Walt was killed. Shaky became known as the Prince of all foes, saying that the title was given by Walt himself. So you got the brother before him, Ray. They saying Walt made him who he is. Then you got Shaky Shine saying, hey, Walt we made me the Prince. You feel me? Real talk. So let's keep on going. Yet many was against drawing because Jerry Walker was still alive and was the only known prince or princes for the foes. I don't know about all that, right? I'm just reading this stuff. So it's like Shaky drew up the new solid structure, which was a structure that he did away with all the elders and replaced them with 9 ministers, and under them ministers were 9 vanguards. With this demo also came a lot of new literature. Okay, with place Shaky as a more influential top than the other. Okay, so that's going into some whole other stuff, right? Real talk. But then it say Shaky got out of prison in 2008, was indicted on federal drug charges. Operation Capitol Hill, it was called. And then almost 50 body snatchers was locked up, including Shaky, who bonded out and been on a run ever since. I don't know about all that. From my research, Shaky locked up, like straight up. I want to say they popped him off in the south suburbs. Real talk. I know. I want to say like the pace setters. Real talk. But I know he got popped off in the south suburbs. But we finna get into that though. You know what I'm saying? I just basically just broke down the history of the foes to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? And I got a documentary that I'm finna put out on them. I'm doing something on the Ida B. Wells. Like I just showed y'all about Thunder. You know what I'm saying? I rock out with the Wells, the extensions, Murder Drive, all y'all. Y'all know what it is, boy. You know what I'm saying? I might tell a story about, when I was in the projects. Real talk. It was turned up. But let's get into this video. It's not finna be long. It's not finna be. I know y'all used to 2 hour videos and an hour and some change videos, but it's not finna be long. So we finna get right into it. So who we got here? We got Jesse Jackson, Chief Malik. We got Mickey Cogwell. Mickey Cogwell, the founder of the Egyptian Cobras, the leader of the Egyptian Cobras. Uh, Chief Malik, founder of the Blackstones. And you got Jesse Jackson, who uh, is a politician, founder of Rainbow Push, and for office, things of that nature. At that moment in time, back in them days, he was like real with it. He was pushing, the Black Monday movement, really about the people. Mickey, he was the Egyptian Cobra, but don't forget that the Egyptian Cobras, became Cobra Stones, you know what I'm saying, and align themselves with the Black Stone movement. You feel me? So, this is true. You feel me? So, you got Mickey Cogwell, man, out of those three brothers, he is the only brother deceased. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. Jeff Ford is locked up on multiple charges. I like free that brother like political prisoner at the end of the day. And I'm going to get into his story, do his documentary. Like that's why I'm not going so deep into this. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's so short. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk, straight up. But I just want to show y'all some clippings of Mickey Cogwell and different things of that nature. But you got Mickey Cogwell, say Mickey Cogwell, 24. Another defendant was playing cards the night of the alleged kidnapping. He was, they say Mickey Cogwell kidnapped a brother and kidnapped him in Jennings' room in the Crowd Hotel, 5450 South Michigan Avenue. Harris, who also lived in the hotel, came to the room. So he came to Jennings' room and then say he got in a fight with Cogwell. Cogwell, Jennings testified, and that is because this Jennings talking, but it say Jennings and Cogwell are charged with attempted murder for allegedly trying to shoot Harris. And then they try to say, Mickey got on some kidnapping with the dude and took her to another room and hit him against his will and popped him and tried to all type of stuff. But Mickey wasn't no goofy. Mickey wasn't no lame. Mickey was, an intelligent brother, but he was about the business at the end of the day. Like straight up, he definitely was. A lot of people don't know that Mickey Cogwell, he established a local union charter, number 304 on May 20 of 1972, straight up, to represent the black fast food workers. The charter now represents over 2,500 members all over the Midwest. 5 years earlier, in June, 1967, Mickey authored a federal grant proposal that secured $957,000. That's how the Stones, how brothers got the guap, because of Mickey Cogwell. Real talk. But this right here, this article I'm showing y'all is about when the ATF, they tried to set up Mickey Cogwell by buying a firearm from him and some of the guys, some of the moles, some of the Blackstones, and it backfired on the ATF because the undercover agent they used, he wrote in his diary some contradicting information that would go against what the prosecution was trying to lay down. The prosecution seen it and never presented it, you know what I'm saying, to, the court. When it came out, the agent came out and said, "Hey, I got this in my diary," and the prosecution know about it. The judge like, "Oh no, well guess what? Since y'all didn't present it, and since this contradicts some things that y'all are trying to charge these guys with, we finna throw the whole case out, straight up." Crazy, right? That's real though. Then right here say Stone found guilty of having ammunition. Mickey Cogwell, 23, a reputed member of the Black P Stone Nation street gang, was found guilty yesterday. Right? He was found guilty because he was in possession of ammunition without a firearm registration card. Mooney set the sentence for January 5th. Cogwell failed to appear on the charge. So you see it say Cogwell failed to appear on the charge September 9th, but later surrendered to the authorities on the charges of a grave kidnapping. He was arrested by the gang unit, right? Straight up. So he turned himself in later on. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. That article and stuff I showed y'all earlier. That's why he turned himself in. He was on the run. But rest up to Mickey. Straight up, rest up to Mickey. Like I said, he was the founder of the Egyptian Cobras. The Egyptian Cobras, which he founded, went to Cobra Stone. They linked up with the Moles with Jeff Ford. And after they did the Cobra Stone thing, Mickey Cogwell, when he got killed, that's when they split and said, "Hey, we ain't with the Stones no more." Real talk. And in fact, that's when they started calling themselves MCs in honor of Mickey Cogwell. Straight up, this picture right here I'm showing y'all is of Mickey. Straight up, laying down, he got whacked. The crazy thing is that in the newspaper clipping I'm finna show y'all, right, it say that he got dropped off. Say when the boys pulled up, they investigated, he got dropped off. Somebody dropped him off, and somebody shot him in the back once, and he started like running. When he started running, they popped him like 2 or 3 more times. And that's when, like it was over for him. Straight up. Mickey did a lot of things, you know, uh, crazy. This brother been to the White House, you know, he done had elected officials reach out to him, have him come to Washington, speak on behalf, you know what I'm saying, of the black stones and things of that nature. Real talk. But look what it say. More can be said for Mickey Caldwell himself, the gang founder who was shot and killed back in 1977. Mickey got killed in 1977. Real talk. And he had a brother named Pony Soldier, and he was shot and killed in 1969. Straight up. So Mickey brother got killed before him. Straight up. He had a brother named Pony Soldier, and Mickey brother got killed. Then down the line, 7, 8 years later, Mickey get killed. Real talk, it's so deep. Like, I'm not even touching the surface. I'm not even touching the surface. I'm not. When I go into the documentary, y'all know what it is. Real talk. So, this right here. Now look what it say. Look what it say. Right? Y'all gotta read it, because I'm not finna read all this, but I'm finna just break it down real quick. Basically, it's saying that Jeff Ford ran everything with an iron fist, when it came down to Black P Stones. You know, what it say? Prison, no bars to Ford's leadership. He's still pulling strings. It say Mickey Cogwell got killed a month after Jeff Ford got released. Real talk. It say Jeff Ford got released and a month later Mickey Cogwell got killed. Straight up. Now one article it say Jeff Ford wasn't in connection with it, right? Or they didn't think he had anything to do with it. But then in another article it say the police seen his car at 12:30 around a certain area and that they questioned him about where his whereabout was or what he have to do with Mickey Cogwell getting killed. Real talk. Straight up. In the article I just showed you, it told you he ran the stones with an iron fist. Straight up. So we finna read this though. So let's say Mickey Caldwell, leader of the Black P Stone Nation in his heyday, and once called a future Al Capone of the black community. Mickey Caldwell, called the future Al Capone, was shot to death early Friday as he walked to his home on 78th and Sealy Avenue. Real talk. Police were looking for Caldwell, two bodyguards who reportedly never leave his side in an effort to determine where they were at the time of the slaying. A resident of the area, Celia Payton, reported hearing shots at 3:45 a.m. looking from her window and seeing Cogwell on the ground. Police found his body on the line at 78th and Sealy, 7820 South Sealy, just get y'all the address, with 3 bullet wounds in his back. Another witness, whom police would not identify, said he looked from his window as he heard gunfire and saw a tall man wearing a dark ski jacket and red pullover cap standing over Cogwell's body. It say Cogwell appeared to have been shot once in the back as he tried to flee and twice more after he fell to the ground. Police said there was no car at the scene and Cogwell was not carrying ignition keys, indicating he was dropped off at his home by someone. He got dropped off. He didn't have no whip. He wasn't finna jump in no car. He ain't none of that. Somebody dropped him off and popped him. Like real talk, whacked him. Rest in peace. Shell casings indicate the murder weapon was a 9mm pistol, so he got killed with a 9. There appeared to be no shortage of motive in the slaying. You name it, he was into it. Everything. Guns, narcotics, union organizing, everything. Homicide investigator said. A guy like him stays on the hit list for a long time. Cogwell, 31, a longtime street gang member who once sat on the main 21, which ruled the Black P Stone Nation, was invited to Washington in 1969 by Senator Percy for a reception in connection with the first Nixon inauguration. He was going to, be part of something with the president, President Nixon. It's telling y'all right now, real talk. Percy later explained that Cogwell paid his own way to Washington as one of the 15 persons the senator invited. He was invited by the senator for a president little demonstration. He paid his own guap to get there. You feel me? Cogwell was known as one of the brighter leaders of the Black Pea Stone Nation and probably was the real leader even before the recognized head Jeff Ford went to prison. Homicide investigator Peter speculated that Cogwell execution might have been resulted from a recent falling out amongst gang members. Now, in the other article, it said that Jeff Ford ran everything from behind bars, that Mickey Cogwell was running the organization, that when he got out, Mickey Cogwell was killed a month later, and that it was some internal conflict going on. Real talk. That what the other article said. It said this a Fort was reported to be in Chicago Thursday night and was amongst those sought for questioning. So they questioned Jeff Ford. They got up with him. Hey, like I told y'all, they got up with him. One article said, when Mickey got killed, they didn't suspect Jeff Ford of being a suspect, right? That's one. Now, here go another article saying, hey, the police, they jayed down on Jeff Ford. They got over Chief Malik. They like, hey, what up? You feel me? Straight up. So, it's a Ford was reported to be in Chicago Thursday night and was amongst those sought for questioning. The detective said a black Cadillac limousine carrying several men wearing red turbans was seen going east on 71st Street near the Dan Ryan Expressway at 12:30 a.m. The auto was identified as one used by Ford associates to bring him from his present home in Milwaukee to visit Chicago on weekends. It say the Black Pea Stone Nation was formed in the 1960s in a merger of the Black Stone Rangers headed by Fort and Cogwell Egyptian Cobras. Besides looting and terrorizing much of the black community, the gang took thousands of dollars from the federal government when gang members was allowed to administer a $297,000 anti-poverty grant. It say Fort was sentenced to prison for his part in that activity, but Cogwell 4-year sentence was reduced to probation. So when the Moles played the government for the guap, Cogwell, he got probation. You know what I'm saying? And Chief Malik, he had to go sit down. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. So, this just showing y'all though how things played out, how things came together, how, different scenarios happen, things of that nature. I just want y'all to get an understanding of that. Real talk. Straight up. Rest in peace to Mickey. You know what I'm saying? Mickey Cogwell. Rest in peace to the brother. But now we finna go into something else. So King David. If you don't, you've been hiding under a rock. You feel me? But this King David Barksdale. You feel me? King of Kings. At the end of the day, straight up. Uh, he was the first person to say he was a king. Honestly, because everybody else was chiefs and things of that nature. Nobody was saying it was the king. And the story goes that when King David was a boxer, he went to New York and it was a lot of brothers out there. They got knowledge of self. The 5% movement is heavy in New York. That's where it started. And a lot of them brothers say, peace, king. They greet themselves. Hey, peace, God, peace, king, peace, black men. You know what I'm saying? So That's how they was coming in David. Hey, peace, king. Peace, king. Peace, king. You know, and then when they realized, hey, like his name David, David from the Bible, oh, your name King David. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? So from him boxing in New York, he took that back with him to Chicago, you know, and he like, hey, I'm the king. I'm King David. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. So just a little history. So with that being said, this right here, you know, is a response to a video that I seen. You know what I'm saying? And it was saying, hey, did King David snitch? Real talk. You know, this guy made a video about King David saying he snitched. So I got to digging and, you know, this is what I came up with. So let's get into it. So it's a the police see Blackstone guns blazing assassination bid. It's a three members of the Blackstone Rangers were in Central Boys Court yesterday, charged with the attempted murder of the leader of a rival gang. They were seized by three detectives of the gang intelligence unit. The squad has stopped David Barksdale, 21, of 6424 South Ashland Avenue, a leader of the Disciples, and two of his gang members at 68th Street and University Avenue Wednesday night to question Barksdale about a fight outside the criminal court building between the two gangs earlier that day. Barksdale told the three detectives that there was an order out to Blackstone Rangers to kill me. That's what David said. Hey, the Stones out here trying to kill me. When they asked him how he knew that, he told the police, he told them, hey, follow me. He said, follow me. So it's a, hey, they jumped in an unmarked car. They slid like down the block and followed King David. Real talk. Say Barksdale turned south on Ellis Avenue at 63rd and Ellis. A dozen youth ran into the street, firing into Barksdale car. Man, you the boys is down the block. You know what I'm saying? King David told him, hey, follow me. He like these dudes trying to whack me. Real talk. The detective said they seized Melvin Bately, 19, of 65th Street in the gangway at 65th and Ellis as he threw away a 45 caliber automatic on a porch. 6524 Ellis Avenue, they called Andrew McChristian, 19, of 7815 Woodline Avenue, trying to unjam a 25 caliber automatic. When detectives brought the two to Barksdale car, they found the three occupants of the bullet-riddled car untouched. Just then, Edward Dinkins, 21, of 6647 Kenwood Avenue, came up to the car and told Peck he couldn't arrest Bately and McChristian. Barksdale identified Dinkins as one of the assailants, and the police took all three of them to the headquarters. Perk described McChristian as a member of the Rangers chieftain group known as the Main 21. Three of the group has been slain in gangland fashion. McChristian has check stubs in his wallet showing he was 130 a week supervisor at the Woodline organization joint. Real talk. All three was charged with the attempted murder, armed violence, and unlawful use of a weapon. Real talk. The judge set bond at 50,000 and continued their case until May 23rd. Peck said Barksdale refused an offer of police protection. Peck said that what they initially wanted to ask him about was a report that he worked over the Ranger Jeff Fort. about him was a report that he worked over the Ranger Jeff Ford. 20 of 6230 Dorchester Avenue at the county jail, where both had gone to confer with the superintendent Winston Moore about making peace. Real talk. So basically, it's saying that look, King David linked up with the boys. The, he told the police, "Hey man, these stones got a hit on me. They trying to whack me." The police say, "How you know that?" He say, "Follow me down the block and you'll see." So the boys get in an unmarked car. They slide. Soon as the stones see King David, they fire him up. So King David didn't get hit or anything, but the police seen it. They arrested the guys, and King David identified one of the main 21 that was on the scene. You know what I'm saying? Like King David, like hey, he was shooting at me too. You know what I'm saying? Cause it's like, dude, the main 21 try to get on some like big brother stuff, like, hey, don't arrest them, don't little homie, don't arrest them, this, that, you know what I'm saying? And then King David like, nigga, you was shooting at me too. So the police arrested all three of them. So when the police arrested him, they asked King David, "Hey, you want to go on witness protection?" He say no. They say, "Hey, we want to ask you a couple questions anyway. Like, what happened between you and, you know, Jeff Ford and in the county jail when y'all had a discussion about, peace? Like the superintendent brought y'all together. You feel me?" So it's a gang leader change story on shooting. The leader of the Disciple Street gang asked Judge Phillips in criminal court to drop the charges against the three members of the Black Stone Rangers who had allegedly tried to murder him in the gangland dispute. David Barksdale, 23, of 6434 South Ashland Avenue, also said he had lied to police May 1968 when he identified two of the three Rangers as the men who shot at him. Barksdale appeared during the second day of testimony in trial of Melvin Bately, 21, and Andrew McChristian, 21, and Edward Dinkins, 23, and all who were charged with attempted murder. Barksdale, who is at this point in his testimony, has took the Fifth Amendment. So you got Barksdale, King David, go on the court saying, "Judge, hey man, drop the charges against these guys. I lied about them shooting at me. You know what I'm saying? They didn't try to kill me." And then, you know, he's saying, "Hey, I lied," you know, things of that nature. Then, he started pleading the fifth. So you got the people asking him questions like, "Hey, I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth." You feel me? Straight up. And it's crazy because I'm finna get into something, but it's just crazy. You feel me? Like, the Stones and the Disciples really had smoke. I'm going to show y'all in these documentaries. Like, I got, I got so much, stuff. It don't even make no sense. This is the tip of the iceberg. Like, real talk. Like, Jeff Ford really didn't like Disciples. He really used to tell the Stones, like, "Hey, kill Disciples. Like, for real. You catch them, kill them. Ain't no fighting them, kill them, shoot them." You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. I got all that, you know. So we finna get into this right quick. Where talk about King David, but I did want to show y'all this. It's like the Disciples, which recently changed its name to Black Disciples, is the city's second largest gang, with an estimated membership of 2,000 in the Inglewood area. A few members of affiliate groups are white, so it's letting you know that they got white disciples too. It ain't just Black disciples. Like the Rangers, the gang has ruling bodies which they call the Black Devil Disciples. This group controls the activities of the two major segments of the gang, the mighty East Side disciples and the mighty West Side disciples. So it was a point in time that the disciples used to say mighty, like we almighty. It ain't just the Vice Lord saying, hey, we almighty this, or we almighty Vice Lord, or we almighty Blackstone, or we almighty, no, hey, the disciples used to say they almighty too. The disciples also have a flair for showmanship and reflected in his funerals of members who have been killed in a street gang fight. Each funeral is large and elaborately decorated and has become custom of leaders to kiss the body as it lies in the coffin. Gang members also are posted on rooftops and around the chapel during such ceremonies. Mm. So the gang leader come up in there and kiss the dead brother. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. The gang activities have been somewhat disorganized in recent weeks following the issue of a arrest warrant for the murder against David Barksdale, 22, the top disciple leader. David's hasty departure left a void in leadership because of his previous strong control over gang activities. Unlike Fort and Hairston, who rose to power in the Rangers through image making and organization, Barksdale is considered the traditional type of gang leader who ruled because he is the toughest. Now, so it say Barksdale is considered an excellent boxer and was known to work out daily in several gyms until his fight. He said he has also told authorities he is an active member of the militant Black Panther Party. That's right, King David was a member of the Black Panthers. This is a fact. This all y'all BDs know y'all history. King David was a Black Panther. Other disciple leaders are Ortheus, OJ, Commander. You know, OG Commander. He 29 president of the West Side Disciples. Mingo Shred, 19 president of the East Side Disciples. Mitchell Bull Newton, 21, and Roy Dawson, 21, who has served as the vice president and warlord of the gang. Real talk. They all Black Panthers. The Black Disciples was Black Panthers. And a lot of people don't know that. King David was a Black Panther. I'm just showing y'all the church, you know, where King David and, you know, the Stones used to meet up and have, you know, meetings and things of that nature. Straight up. But I just showed y'all, you know, it was a point in time where the disciples used to call themselves Almighty. It wasn't just the Lords. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just the Stones. Real talk. And for King David to, you know, say, hey, these guys didn't shoot me, drop the charges, they had to come to an understanding. Like, real talk. Because I'm showing y'all this right here. It's like two reputed leaders of the Blackstone Nation gangs were charged with 4 counts of armed robbery and alleged recruiter for the Divine Black Outlaw Maniac Disciples was charged with the murder of Paul Hawkins, 21, on May 23rd. So that's showing y'all right there that the Stones and Disciples, they was together rocking out with each other. You know, them brothers right there just called a murder charge, 2 different mobs, Stones and Disciples together. And they ain't, you know, did somebody in. Straight up. But this right here, you know, is an article I want you to read because you got to get some understanding. I just told y'all about, you know, the police wanting to ask brothers about, you know, this conversation right here that Jeff Ford and King David had. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. So here you go. Two street gang members had a fist fight outside the criminal court building yesterday, while leaders of the two gangs, Blackstone Rangers and the Disciples, held a peace talk in the county jail with Superintendent Winston Moore. Moore said he invited Jeff Ford 20, a 6230 Dorchester Avenue leader of the Blackstones, and David Barksdale 20, a 5803 Carpenter Street leader of the Disciples, to a conference in his office in an attempt to end gang violence in the South Side. While them three was inside chopping it up, right? You had members of the Rangers, including Bernard Green and they giving his address and things of that nature. But he walked out the criminal court building. They had spent a day in the court as the jury was being selected for the murder trial of Eugene Hairston. So you had Eugene Hairston getting his jury selected for a murder, while you got King David and Chief Malik, Jeff Ford, in the county jail at the same time talking about peace. Then you got the Stones and the Disciples outside fighting at the same time. All this happening at once, right? It's like 10 members of the Disciples stood at a car parked in California Avenue just outside the building. They confronted Green and the two other members, I should say, of the Blackstone Rangers. So it was 10 Disciples and 3 Stones. Insults was exchanged. Then Green and the Disciples, Orthel Champion 20, started swinging fists. So they say, hey, the Disciples started swinging on the Moes. It was 3 of them. Hold on. Let me reread that. Okay. It's a green, and it's a Orthel Champion started swinging. So it wasn't nobody just swinging first. They just started swinging off. They started talking crazy toward each other, and everybody just going back and forth, and they the ones who just started swinging. Real talk. But mind you, they fighting on the outside while you got, Bull on the inside, getting his murder case trial started by them picking jurors. Then you got David and Chief Malik on the inside with the superintendent of the county jail. This all the same time happening. They in the inside talking peace talks. Real talk. Straight up. And also I just want to add that, people have said that, King David was playing, a game of he had the police in his pocket and, he was, you know, he had the police in his pocket and he was just using the police, as a power move to get, you know, niggas jammed up or get or I don't want to say jammed up, but to accomplish whatever he was trying to accomplish. Let me say that. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Straight up. So, I have heard stories from multiple sources that the police was in King David pocket. So that's why he pulled that stunt. Hey, y'all come up with y'all own logic and, I'm just here to present the facts. Real talk. So now I'm showing y'all, this Stones and Disciple article where it's saying they formed the alliance. Like the Stones and Disciples came together, you know what I'm saying, to form an alliance. Real talk. If you read this article, it tells you that the Stones and the Disciples formed the alliance, and now the Stones are saying, hey, I hope this alliance will enable King David, which is in hiding for a murder, to come out because he did not kill a stone. He did not do this. He did not do that. See how that work? So King David went on stand, played the fifth, say, hey, these stones didn't shoot at me, this, that, and the other. Don't charge them. Then you got the stones saying, hey, we created a agreement to come together, and hopefully this brother can come out the woodworks from hiding from a murder charge because he's innocent. He didn't kill a stone. That's crazy, ain't it? That's real though. At the end of the day, that's real. And man, you, King David died from getting shot by a stone. Think about that. So we're gonna get into this right quick. Jeff Ford and Chief Bull. You got Eugene Hairston. You know what I'm saying? Uh, both of them very influential. Both of them had a major part to play when it come down to Black Stone. You feel me? Real talk, straight up, like a dream team. You feel me? Straight up, they did that. They definitely did that. But right here is an article about how Chief Bull, Eugene Hairston, how, like I showed you the article about the jurors getting picked. They was getting picked because he was charged with murder. What he did was pay a couple little shorties like $1 each, or like 5, 6 of them, to whack somebody. Like he paid them $1. He paid them $1, and they went and took somebody down. Real talk, straight up for $1. But he did that, and so this is what he was going to court for. At the end of the day, straight up, he definitely was going to court for it. You know, uh, got a lot of stories that I'm going to get into. Like I say, I'm doing documentaries on all these brothers, full detailed documentaries. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to all these brothers. Straight up, that's not living in this, video that I'm doing right now. Rest in peace to all of them. Straight up. Ain't trying to throw no smut on their name, trying to, throw no shade. Just doing what Flacco do, keeping it real, being a historian about it, giving some understanding, some proper knowledge and some wisdom at the end of the day. Straight up. But rest in peace to him. Like I say, he had 5 or 6 shorties, paid them $1 each, and they all, when they did their thing, got down on somebody. Straight up. Real talk. So I'm just giving y'all a little backstory, showing y'all just a little something. This boy right here. You feel me? Straight up. This him right here. Oh, it's crazy. So I'm gonna get into this article real quick. Y'all finna see it, right? But basically, just saying that Bull, was one of the original main 21 leaders of the Black Peace Stones Nation, which became known as the L. Rookins. Rest in peace, Bull. You know what I'm saying? But he was killed in a apparent execution early Thursday, allegedly for disobeying an order from jail from gang leader Jeff Ford. You see what it say? So it's like Jeff Ford had King Bull killed. Say, Bull, he stayed in Ida B. Wells, and he was killed on 38th and Vincennes. It say that he had a security with him, and his security was walking with him. Then another man came up and killed him, and him and the security and the man who killed him, they dipped. Straight up, real talk. So, you know, that's what happened to Bull. That what happened to him. Just keeping it real. You know, like I say, I'm gonna get into so much. I'm gonna get into so much. You know, I didn't. You know, I work every day. You know what I'm saying? But I had to give y'all something. I had to give my supporters something. I had to give y'all something. Straight up. I had to. I really had to, cause you know y'all been rocking out with me. I'm talking about. I'm like at. Let me look at my analytics right now while I'm talking to y'all. Like for real, my analytics. I'm at almost 200,000 views. Literally, 200,000 views. For real. 196. A thousand to what 1,200 subscribers. I appreciate y'all. Y'all 12,000 subscribers or 1,200 subscribers, I should say, in a couple days. I appreciate y'all straight up. But this some extra little history for y'all that stay out there in the burbs. This brother right here was the first brother to become like a chief stone out there in Harvey, Chicago Heights, and things of that nature. They was called the Black Elephants until they flipped to being Black Stone Rangers. Check the article out. Until next